Hiya, how you doing? So just a quick video on this little commission before I box it up. Just finished it tonight. It's the Nighthaunt part of a Nighthaunt army from Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar being the fantasy tabletop game from Games Workshop. Most of the stuff I've painted from Games Workshop has always been the Warhammer 40k, sci-fi futuristic type game. However, it was a nice opportunity to get my hands on this stuff to paint. Completely different sort of style and sculpt, so very, very enjoyable overall. With a few hiccups, but we'll touch on that in a wee minute. Front row here, we've got some soldiery type dudes carrying big sickles, and we've got a couple of guys beating the drums and hitting the old drums of war. And then we've got these kind of sort of ethereal, scary looking assassin type people with daggers and stuff. Very nice sculpts, some lovely details on the base, such as stonework and arches, gates, and different dressed stone pavings and whatnot. We've also added in some of my own details, some nice homemade soil and woodland scenics grass, static grass, and also some rocks and some twigs that I acquired from the garden from a wee dead thyme. Had some thyme that didn't make it through the winter in my herb garden. Dug it out, and sort of some of the dead branches I broke off, dried out for a few weeks, and have made some fabulous additions to the base, representing gnarly wood and sticks and twigs and stuff. Anyway, middle row we have got these two dudes on horses. Great models to paint. Oops. Lots of jaggy bits here. Careful. We've got some of the horse's ribs here. We've got the skull, nice rusty swords and whatnot. So there was also get some coppery bronze work on the front face here. Very nice models to build. Again, lovely detailed bases. We've got skulls and rusty helmets and gravestones and all the usual sinister looking stuff you'd expect to find in a fantasy war game. So yeah, those two horses, they were great fun to paint. Really nice sculpts as well. And then we've got these guys here. Probably not the easiest to build. Said a few bad words, few sweary words while building them, but we got there in the end. Used a slightly different technique. So that the kind of main colour of the soldiers here were from Games Workshop, Vallejo, the SV Gold Light Blue, which is generally used for some of the Russian blue wintry type aircraft camouflage colours, and then we've got the Game Air series, and that's alien purple. This is the kind of colour scheme that the client had asked for, and I was all too happy to oblige. Wanted these to look slightly different, but again keeping in the theme, so I used Nylaka Oxide, which is a slightly more greener tone. It's the wash that Games Workshop make, and it gives us a nice verdigris sort of effect to brass and copper, bronze, etc. It is actually used on the models elsewhere as well, for that very effect, but on here, whitewashed, applied that, and then used some more white just to pick out some of the highlights. A wee blast of purple on their faces, again just to keep in with the theme, so that we don't lose that too much. We've got a common theme running here. We can associate and identify them with the overall aesthetic, but they're individuals in their own rights as well. And then we've got this at the back here. She's not my friend. So this is the HQ, or the sort of big bad, the kind of boss lady of the overall army. She is an absolutely gorgeous sculpt. However, she's only supported on this leg here. It's not a leg, it's just a bit of dress, I suppose, but that's what supports the actual model onto the base. Makes her very wobbly. You could imagine how hard that was to paint, bouncing about all over the place. It was so frustrating at points. When I was doing these wee guys, I was doing this streak here, so they were bouncing about. You know, you're out in some of the peripheries, and the you know, the places, you know, the model's bouncing all over the place, and your brush is just going everywhere. So the amount of white paint that I got in these dark bits and the amount of dark paint I got in these white bits is just absolutely unbelievable. I had to keep going back over just to correct mistakes and stuff. Overall, slightly different technique, mostly airbrush with these guys here. This one was done more with washes over a white base, primarily just because it was so intricate, and actually trying to get into the sort of nooks and crannies would have been difficult with airbrush. If I had my time again, I would maybe do it slightly different. I'd maybe build it in stages into paintable parts, and then, you know, do a final assembly. I don't know. It's probably, hopefully I never have to paint another one again. It was actually a really enjoyable model to finish, and the results, in my opinion anyway, are really, really nice, and I just hope my client thinks the same. Overall, I would say though, these are really, really nice models. They've got a lovely feel to them. They're really nice, really nicely sculpted, as you'd expect for Games Workshop. And they've turned out really nice. I like the sculpts. I like the paint job. The paint colours. The paint job, well, I think I've done okay, but that's probably more for the client to decide. Anyway, these are just due to get boxed up. I've got a couple of wee things I need to do in one or two of them before we finish them, before I box them up. I'll do that tomorrow, however. So I just wanted to do a quick video on these before I packed them away. So, thanks very much for having a wee check-in. If you get a chance, maybe like and subscribe. I don't just do Star Wars models, I do lots of stuff. Primarily Star Wars, because that's my favourite. That is my favourite. I do enjoy them the most. But I do like doing other stuff as well. So there will be other things featuring on the channel as time goes by. Maybe model aircraft, or, you know, a wee tank or something here or there, you know, that kind of stuff. But and there'll definitely be some dioramas getting fired into the mix as well, because I'm quite partial to that as well. But anyway, tie this up, and I'll wish everybody a good night, because it's now late and it's time for my bed. So good night, folks. Thanks for watching. Cheerio the new. Bye bye.